You are back in Cholt. You are back in Port Nine Zaru, Zindar, Dragonborn, Sorcerer Supreme of the city, protector of its harbor, and grieving father, to say nothing of being a lawful good Dragonborn, is deeply disappointed, and he feels that someone has not tried as hard as they could have. Now,
He's probably
again,
not wrong.
he's probably not wrong. But just to be clear, it's not just that you didn't try to bring him back or you didn't know to bring him back. And this isn't a dig on Joe, but I think Joe's character has the spell Speak with Dead, which is to say, if you tried every possible solution, you could have at least figured out where he was from. Snap! So, he's a very, very intelligent. I mean, he's a sorcerer, so he's primarily charisma, but he is also an intelligent, experienced, wise, former adventurer, and now his job is to not only protect the harbor, but also to stop people like smugglers, right? People who lie about things, interview people to see if anybody's dodging taxes or has been engaged in piracy on the side. So, he knows what people can do, and he's fully experienced in shenanigans. So now, how you guys choose to resolve this, what his vengeance or his anger or grief, how that's going to be manifested is not entirely clear at this stage. The one thing is that he's supposed to be responsible for protecting the city. Maybe he's not going to do something openly evil like assassinate somebody. Maybe. But, it's probably going to be a little bit more serious than leaving a flaming poo outside your door. Although, I don't know. That would be pretty nasty as well, actually.
Especially if you step in it. Not only do you have to deal with, poo on your foot, now your foot's on fire.
Taking damage. Mental and physical damage.
Yep. Cool. All right. So, you have entered your team. What did you call your team again?
Mad skills.
Yeah! Despite all your attempts to get the race administrator to write it down correctly.
That was sad.
We almost got disqualified over it.
I'm telling you, you think it's funny, but 90% of these jokes, or at least 70% of these jokes, are based on something that I've seen in real life. I had an admin guy give me exactly that kind of speech. Like, I've already put it into the system, it's too late. Like, even after he was fixing it the second time, and it was still too. And it was just one of those things. Like, at some point, I was either going to commit a felony or just have to let it go. So,
just make sure he showed up in a really negative way in a game in the future. I'll take my revenge any way I can.
That's how his vengeance manifested.
Yep.
Yep. Of course, I had to spend 2 years in San Quentin, but that's okay. It was worth it. No, just kidding. It wasn't San Quentin. It was 2 days in county jail. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so we've got the race, but you guys have got another day in between.
Oh,
we do.
What are you going to do?
We can go exploring.
Shopping.
There's a lot of shopping. So this whole city, first of all, aside from what we've discussed before, this city is basically all about the commerce. It is located in a wilderness that is rich with resources, timber, fish, obviously loads of exotic animals, not just dinosaurs, but also dinosaurs. There are flying monkeys, flying snakes, flying spiders, pretty much anything you can possibly think of.
Flying flies.
Flying flies. Yep. And you've got rich people, you've got poor people, you've got former colonial influences, you've got folks who are trying to reassert themselves or assert themselves. You've got people who are, building up empires in the midst of building up empires or have already succeeded. Their political machinations. You can whatever you want to imagine, you can see is happening here. All the best and the worst, right? People finding their political and individual voices in the midst of all of this chaos and craziness, and then people who are, basically in the business of suppression or repression, right, for the sake of personal or economic gain. There's a lot of commerce from all over. You see, although there aren't that many of them, there are pretty much most of the major races of Faerun can be seen, at least amongst the merchanting areas, whether it's the Merchants Ward, the Grand Souk. Those of you who are paying close attention may notice that I've added a few other locations on the map. So this is the warehouse district. You'll notice that there are canals that actually go around the district itself, so that smaller vessels, including small ferries and barges, can carry goods to and from the warehousing area and back to the harbor ward. There's a fish market. There's also the Red Bazaar, which is down here near the Grand Colosseum. And that actually is called that because it's essentially an abattoir for all the dinosaur meat that's being processed. So the streets literally run red with the blood of these behemoth animals that are being slaughtered and turned into meat and animal byproducts like leather and things. You've got a couple of different temples, the Temple of Savras, the Temple of Gond, the Temple of Soon, the Temple of Timora in Malar's Throat, which is a poor area, which makes sense, and the Hall of Gold, which is the temple for Joaquin, who is the goddess of commerce and wealth, and is a holdover from the Omnian colonial influence. Bless you.
Sorry.
That's all right. This is the famous Bathworks, where everybody goes. Everybody likes to have a bath. Everybody smells very interesting here, although the streets themselves have an underlying waftiness associated with all the food and animals and dinosaurs that constantly traipse or are carried through. It is also the case that these people are both colorful in terms of their dress, lots of feathers, lots of colorful clothes, lots of silks and plumage, but they also are a bit dandyish, to be honest. The men especially like to wear a lot of exotic and really outlandish jewelry. The women always do, of course. And everybody likes to take a bath all the time. So the public bathworks is kind of a good place to meet people. And Golden Throne is the seat of power. It's where most of the merchant princes hold court, if they're holding court, if they're not in their own villas and homes. The Grand Souk is a place where you can do all the major commodity trading. Think of it as a quasi-marketplace, quasi-commodity exchange in the old-fashioned sense, where people would literally bring, gigantic bundles of minerals or timber or sacks of grain to trade, as well as other things. And the Grand Colosseum is where a lot of games are hosted, although the dinosaur race itself, as you guys have already had explained to you, literally runs around the circle, runs a loop around the city.
I think the first thing we need to do is get some currency exchange happening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was going to suggest we go to the Grand Souk. See what's
Sounds
out
good.
there.
Okay. So Zindar has stormed out. currency controller who can do currency exchange. You can also exchange your currency at the Hall of Gold, which is the Temple of Joaquin. He looks at all of you and he says, well, that was very uncomfortable.
You're telling me.
I am telling you.
Yes,
He
you
is
are.
extremely influential beyond just his position as the harbor master. I strongly recommend you find a way to make this up to him. I've never seen him so angry, and I've seen him kill many, many, many pirates.
Radine's a little lost in thought. She's just nodding along. Well, we certainly wouldn't want any trouble. I'll think about it.
Think quickly. There are many societies and groups in this city. If you are seen to be a target of one, others may take advantage.
Advantage?
Well, if you don't have the protection of the harbor master or the militia, or you're seen to be outside the law, it's open season.
Good to know. Thanks for the warning.
Just common sense. I'm sure it's like this wherever you must come from.
Must come from. That's another question.
So, did you just wander in here accidentally, or were you looking for Zindar?
Well, we had intended to see him, but we're looking to exchange some coin, do some local shopping.
Oh, I see. Well, I suppose I am able to do that for you.
All right. Is there any interest on it?
There's no interest, but there is an exchange rate, depending on what coins you have and what you're looking to exchange for. We do give discounts for larger volumes.
So, I don't know about
I
you
can-
guys.
How much were you thinking of exchanging?
I don't know about you guys, but the only funds I've got were from back on the island. And I'll show him one as an example. I'll pull out a gold piece, see what he says.
One
What's the
gold
exchange
piece?
rate? Well, no, not to exchange, just to show him what type of coinage it is, to ask about what the exchange rate is for these types of coins.
Well, this looks quite old. I haven't seen one of these in a long time. Well, it depends really on how much you have.
I could trade up 100 myself.
Oh, I see. Is that the total amount then?
I look to the other party members.
I can trade about 30.
Let's see, 700.
Oh my god.
Putting us to shame here.
And you can see he suddenly starts coughing and he spits out a little bit of tea that he was drinking. Oh, right this way, madame. And he gestures for you to sit down in his chair, in his guest's chair. Oh, well, that's, I didn't realize. Is there anything else I can help you with? Of course, we'd be happy to help you with this. It will take some time to bring the funds over. I'll have to have them ordered over from the Hall of Gold, but I'm certain we can accommodate you.
Good. It seems like you have a lot of knowledge of the city.
Well, of course, I'm the money lender and the money exchanger. I should hope I understand the city and its workings.
Do you have any idea where we can find the shadow thieves? So
To give him a heart attack.
Yeah.
Who told you to... And he looks around suspiciously. Who are you people?
They robbed us when we got to shore, and we would really like to have a word with them.
Oh, well, I wouldn't know anything about that. And he keeps talking sort of like in roundabout circles. You know, they haven't been seen here for quite some time. And of course, it's not even clear that they would have anything to do with any crimes, given that they are such a noble and fine intelligence gathering organization.
Can I mage hand the piece of paper?
You can try, but as you try to do it, he holds on to it and he sticks out a palm.
I give him some gold.
How much do you give him?
10.
He looks at it.
10 more.
He just sort of weighs it, just like he just keeps clinking and weighing it.
Geez, this guy's expensive.
10 more.
And then he pockets it inside his vest and he lets you mage hand the piece of paper over.
Cool. What's on it?
Thank you.
He's, it's got several words on it.
Cool.
Huh? What?
I said cool.
Yeah,
words.
right.
Bread.
Well, they don't necessarily. I'm not sure that they would mean anything to you yet. So, one of the words is Jobal, Jobal, and another one is Wakanga Otamu, Wakanga space O''Tamu.
Yeah, I'm not sure what those mean. So I'm just gonna ask him. Be like, hey, what does this mean? What are these words?
I've never seen that piece of paper in my life. Now, would you like to conclude this transaction?
One more thing. Wakanga Otambu. What? Sorry.
And he starts like banging on the table, making a lot of noise with the coins and slamming a lot of the drawers, obviously trying to drown out your speech. I know I've got the receipt somewhere. I'm sure we can conclude this financial transaction if you just give me an hour's notice and we'll be able to get you your total amount of 830 gold, was it? Yes, I'm sure we can work something out. For that sum, we can do it for 15% surcharge.
Could we do it for 10?
15% is as low as I go. Normally, we charge 25. That's already quite a good deal.
10 and a sapphire.
10 and a sapphire?
Mm-hmm.
You have a sapphire.
We have 2 sapphires from the bag from the pirate ship.
Ooh, that's true.
But do you know what they're worth?
One was worth a good amount.
I wrote down they seemed good quality.
Yes. He will look at the sapphire and say, oh, you know, I'm not really one for gems, but if you go to the Merchant's Way, there's a gemologist there, and I'm sure he can help you out. Where did you get this, by the way?
Same place we got this old gold, on an adventure on the island.
So it was in Charlton Waters.
I don't remember.
Liar.
Maybe.
Pants on fire.
Hey,
What?
trade secret.
Yeah.
You do know that there is a 50% profit share on any resources or treasure gathered on the Chulton Peninsula, payable to the various guilds and militant groups located around Chult.
Really?
Yes,
I might
the
have
Flaming
known
Fist. The Flaming Fist provides security services for a fee. And you must pay them half of whatever you found.
Well, we didn't
see.
find it.
I might have known that in the past.
It was
shame.
our reward for doing a job.
Roll deception.
Well, kinda is. We killed a dragon for it.
Yeah, but you it's not exactly what
No.
you're trying to imply, is it?
No. I'm kind of tired giving everyone our money. We worked
Yeah,
hard for this
that's
money.
another thing. If you've ever traveled in Africa, it's like that in a lot of places. It really is. My friends from Nigeria and Ghana tell me all the time, you have to be careful. Anyway, so
19 perception.
Well, you seem like quite an upstanding person. Are you an elf?
Nope. Not anymore.
Oh. You not anymore. Not anymore. What does that mean?
To be honest, I don't know.
And he collects your 830 gold pieces, and he gives you a piece of paper signed with his name and stamped with a seal on a bit of red wax. This is your official receipt. You may return within approximately an hour. The funds shall be available for you.
Like
I
an
can give you
IOE.
50 gold now, but it's all I've got at the moment in the office.
We can wait, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you should probably take 50 gold now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let one of you take it then. I'll wait for mine.
So he's giving you 50 gold. At that 15% conversion, he's going to take your 830 and give you a total of 722. So minus the 50, you'll be looking at another 672 later. Well, here you go. And he drops a big pouch that weighs approximately a pound. And the gold coins are very nicely minted. They're all fairly new, which you can tell just by looking at them. They have on them an image of a dinosaur on one side and some human male who has a very fancy-looking headdress. You don't recognize him, but his features look like they might be indigenous features. Presumably, it's some important person from the peninsula of Chult, either living or historical.
Now all we gotta do is look for printing errors. Sell them for more.
Oh.
Side quest.
Yeah.
Joe comes back next week. So, what'd you guys do? Oh, we searched through about 2,000 coins, and we were looking for any special, unique ones to keep in trade.
Exactly. All right.
All right, so you've got 50 gold. Who's carrying it this time?
Mm.
Now, I will remind you that a druid wild shaping can make the equipment part of their body, which would technically make it impossible to be pickpocketed.
Yeah, true.
That's a good fact.
But then I need to be in Val shape all the time.
Yeah, and then Dowling would have to, and then it would be like really, really weird when Dowling has to spend the money.
Mm-hmm.
I reach into Dowlin's thigh and I crank her tail a couple of times.
And I poop out some gold.
The exact amount that you need.
Yeah.
Crank.
Yeah. Well, you did contribute the most, so if you want to keep it, that's fine with you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can take that wonderful bonus at the start. Miss 700 gold.
I have more.
Yeah. What? That is wild.
Well, I
There's so much.
tossed away all my equipment almost and stuffed my bag with gold, so
You say you have more?
I have more.
Oh. Well, if you'd like to exchange more of it.
And not just yet. We'll see.
All right. Well, depending on how much you have next time, it may not be the same rate, just so you know. But please do come back in an hour and present this certificate, and you shall be able to take the rest of your exchanged funds and presumably be able to spend them. I do recommend going to the Grand Souk. depending on what you're interested in, you may find some interesting and exotic items there.
Do they have any magical items there? You know?
Oh, well. If you are interested in magical items, Wakanga
There we go.
is the one who is an expert at lore and magical items.
And where should we find this? I whisper very quietly. Wakanga.
What? Speak up, I can't hear you.
I point at the paper.
And he immediately closes your hand over the paper and pushes back toward you. The merchant princes generally rotate holding court in the Golden Throne, but you cannot just waltz in and demand an audience. You might be able to see them as a result of a number of different outcomes. If you've done great service to the city, if you've donated a large sum of money to the benefit of the poor, or for the construction or rehabilitation of a major landmark, or if you're an important dignitary from another country or nation or city, state. And he looks at all of you in your various states of undress, including Yvonne's cracker, who looks like she's basically wearing a pair of hotel, bathroom slippers. I assume the latter doesn't apply.
Well, maybe. I mean, fashion's not my forte.
Yes, I've heard that about half-orcs. Although, I will say, we have a few half-orcs in the city. Most of them seem to be tied up in the dinosaur races, and they are, they're quite fashionable. Très chic, I think, is the phrase the drow use. Oh yes, the dinosaur races. If you win a dinosaur race, you may request an audience or even have dinner with one of the merchant princes.
So then, they who shall not be named is another one of the princes that we could see.
And he looks around. He looks underneath his desk. He looks behind his chair. And then he looks at you and nods.
Okay. That's 2 on the list then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how are we gonna meet two?
Prioritize.
I
I mean, you
guess.
could just walk up to their houses and ring the bell. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Hey, let's go try it. Why not? We're
Yeah,
already
man, where do they live?
No, don't do that. That's a terrible idea. Don't do that. Do they not have irony where you're from?
I don't know.
You are a very strange person.
Am I a person?
Right. Well, I deal in matters financial and economic, not existential. If you've got some sort of soul-searching problem, I suggest you try one of the many temples in the city. Perhaps the Temple of Soon. It looks like a few of you could do with a hairdo.
Maybe I will.
Maybe you should. Good luck and good day.
Good day.
Bye.
And then he gently shoos you all out the door.
Should we go to the jewelers?
Yes.
Might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the jewel market's kind of on the way. Not really. That's a lie. But
I mean, is there somewhere else you'd like to go?
it's up here, and then we could go to the Grand Souk after we potentially get more funds.
Yeah.
Sure.
Funds is important.
Meridian
Henrietta,
the entire way.
Where does Henrietta, where does Dallin want to go?
I don't know. To the bathhouse? Take a bath?
Yeah, the bathhouse obviously can give you baths, but the Temple of Soon, let's see. Henrietta, let's see. I think Dallin and Satina would both know who Soon is. Soon is the goddess
perhaps.
Soon is the goddess of beauty. So, elves and elvish lore and culture being what it is, both have some general familiarity with it. It's not, you don't have to be an expert at it, but it's a bit like knowing that L'Oreal is a cosmetics company, right? I've never used cosmetics, but I know what L'Oreal is. Just from being dragged through that section numerous times in my life. Hold my purse, she said.
I mean, we're at the Hall of Gold, right?
You're
I thought we were
here.
by
You're at the Harbor Ward. Yeah.
We're at the Harbor Ward. I was completely wrong.
The Hall of Gold
My
is
bad.
another place where you can exchange money, but that's actually the Temple of Joaquin.
Gotcha. Yeah. Mhm.
Wherever we go, the entire way, all Meridian's thinking about is less how to make it up to him and how to get out of being in trouble.
I'm just following you guys around, so wherever you want to go, I'm just your muscle. I'm there to take a punch.
Open
Plus,
doors.
I haven't got any coin, so yeah, open doors. So I'm hoping when we get to Grand Souk, it sounds like I'm gonna have to replace these slippers with something more reasonable, like a good pair of sandals or something, or boots. They might be kind of hot.
You can arm wrestle people for them.
I could. Huh. Okay, well, we'll do that when we get to the Grand Souk. That's a great idea.
Just walk up to people and start arm wrestling them.
Randomly.
What are you doing?
give you those
Stop.
Forceful arm wrestle.
4 counts of aggravated assault and robbery.
Exchange. Playful fun.
I don't know what you call arm wrestling. Here we call that mugging.
Well, I just assumed that was the style of play, considering we've been mugged already.
This is fair.
Mug and mug alike, right?
2 wrongs don't make a right.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Are you
calling me
calling
Mike?
everybody a monkey? Yeah, seriously. I don't know. Speak for yourself, Emma.
No.
All right. So there is a request for the bathhouse. There is a request for the jewelers.
I have a suggestion. How about we go to Jewel Market, Souk, and Bathhouse to end off the evening?
Sounds perfect. Although the bathhouse, do I really need to go in there? I mean, really.
Yes.
I'll stay outside with you.
Okay.
It's going to be so nice. You get to talk to people and, learn more about the environment and the people that are in it while being completely... Well, is this a naked bathhouse or is this like a
I
towel
was gonna
bathhouse?
say, depends on the kind of bathhouse.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not it's not it's not like a euphemism for a gay bar. The bathhouse with like a great big rainbow pride flag. It's literally where people go to bathe. So unless you want to bathe with your clothes on, which I suppose they might let you do if they had enough money for it. Probably a little weird, but
Maybe a little bit. But it would be a good place to get information.
Yeah, and the chances of somebody attacking you when they're half naked, completely naked, is definitely going to be lower. They're not gonna find a lot of weapons.
So maybe we should come in just in case.
Naked wrestling.
Maybe.
If I turn into a cat and then take a bath, will I be clean when I go back? When I turn back?
Now we're asking the real questions.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Good one.
God, you're making my head hurt.
Will they let a cat into the bathhouse?
I don't know. If I go in as a rat or something, I can just sneak in.
Oh, they definitely won't let you in if you're a rat. I don't think they.
I'm not gonna go in the front door if I'm a rat.
Oh, what if you pose as my familiar?
Yeah, I can do that. So
Well, I guess thank you for letting me think about it while you guys are preparing. Sure, why not? You know what? Why not?
It's my
I should
world,
get a
gosh
witch's
dang it.
hat.
You can be clean. I mean, what's the difference? You can be clean. Sure. It's probably cleaner. I never understood people thinking cats are clean because they lick themselves. I get it. It's how they clean themselves.
Yeah.
Some guy came up to you and licked his hand and then tried to shake your hand and you think that was a clean hand.
Ew,
Right? And
that's
yet
gross.
people go, oh, the cats are so clean because they lick themselves.
All right.
I'm not saying dogs are clean.
Dogs aren't clean. They stink.
Dogs are not clean. I love my dogs. But yeah, no. Okay. So you're going off to Jewelers.
Yes.
You wend your way through. One of the interesting features about the city is that, as we have discussed a little bit before, there are a number of hills. So just to give you an idea, I'm just going to make you guys. I'm going to show you some pictures in a moment, but as you were walking from here to up the street, basically, the Jewel Market, this is a big hill. This is a big hill. This is a hill. These are hills. These are hills. This is a smaller hill. This is a big hill up here. These are hills. So if you can think about how sometimes rivers carve canyons, right, towards the ocean, it's a bit like that. There aren't any rivers here per se, but the depressions and the canyons caused from whatever it is, glacial activity or tectonic activity, mean that you're mostly surrounded by higher outcroppings, and as a result, from where you are, you can see these hills, but you can tell that the hills have been commanding the rest of the city, the harbor, and some of the neighboring countryside. Furthermore, there are a number of very impressive bridges that hover over the building. So this is a bridge here over Grand Souq. Right. This is a big bridge. This is another big bridge. This is also a bridge between the Hall of Gold and the Grand Colosseum in the south. And from where you are standing, you can see that the Temple of Savras and the Temple of Gond here. They're very impressive structures. The Hall of Gold has what appears to be a golden dome on the top of it. And Golden Throne also seems to have a golden dome, and in fact, the dome of Golden Throne seems to be suspended in midair. The Temple of Sun seems to be suspended in midair, which you can't quite see from where you are, but it's also on a rocky outcropping on a hill connected by a bridge to Mania. And it's all very, very impressive. It's a very rich city with a lot of interesting. It's sort of a combination of, some of the northern Italian cities and maybe Rio de Janeiro. If you have been to those places.
You're breaking up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
I
in the
didn't
tunnel.
get that last bit.
It's a bit like Rio de Janeiro and northern Italian cities.
Okay.
Let me try reconnecting my.
All
right. Hopefully that'll fix it.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
better.
that's better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
You just kept getting
Okay.
quieter, like you were like talking behind a door or something.
Oh.
Like you just kept getting further and further and further away from the mic.
Yeah.
It sounded like.
That is definitely frustrating. I will have to fix that. Okay. So reconnecting made a difference,
Yes, it did.
but I literally just connected before the game started. So, all right, maybe this will continue to be a problem, but hopefully it won't. Okay. So yeah, as you're walking up towards the city, you see a number of wonderful looking shops. There's everything you can possibly imagine. There's silversmiths, There are jewelers. There are beautiful cityscapes that include panoramic vistas of the harbor. There's lots of different colorful types of people who seem to be looking to sell all kinds of things.
Oh, that's nice.
That's pretty.
Mhm.
So, the jungle is basically encroaching on the city, right? Every surface, it's wet, it's hot, it's obviously extremely fertile. There is some tectonic activity. Obviously, you guys know that there has been, because you're from most of you were on the island that was basically a volcano thrust up from the ocean. So every single surface area has got plants growing on it. As you're walking around the city, right? You walk through some squares, and they feel very warm and homey. But at the same time, it's all really, really warm and hot and sticky as well. There's even a brief thunderstorm as you walk, in just the short walk it takes you to get from the harbor to the Merchant's Way. Most of you are briefly drenched, not terribly, because it literally only lasts for a few seconds. But you feel a little bit refreshed if you're not wearing armor. Cora is going to feel incredibly gross. And if you have any kind of long hair or curly hair, it's a complete mess.
Oh, good.
Yeah. How's Cracker doing there, Yvonne?
I'm a little hot. But I'm not wearing much, so I'm doing okay. But I don't really care about my hair. I'm not really paying attention, so it's probably pretty messy.
Right. And Dallin's new phase is probably very comfortable in any natural environment, basically. Probably.
I was
Okay.
actually thinking of, I don't know if you have seen the episode of Friends when Monica is in the Bahamas or something, and her hair just freezes up because of the humidity. She looks like a troll. That's what I
Oh, right.
imagine. Just a lot of curls and everything just messy.
Right. Yeah, my hair does that too. It's not quite that long, but it definitely has the same problem.
Mine too.
And of course, there is the usual, exotic sights of dinosaurs engaged in rather mundane daily activities, including just acting as transportation and beasts of burden, and even replacing some of the mechanical features that one might normally expect in a different kind of a city. Although you do also notice that there are some water features. So there are a lot of fountains that spray jets into the air. Some of them are cooling mists, presumably. Some of them are they appear to be primarily for aesthetic purposes. They spout water in different directions in little jets, and then they stop, and then they do it again, and then they stop. It's all very entertaining and a good way to spend a little leisure time. Okay. You get to the jewelers. There are, there's pretty much everything there. So if you would like to see a jeweler, if you'd like to see an actual gemologist or gem merchant, if you want to find somebody who's a goldsmith or a silversmith or some other kind of smith, you can pretty much find it all here in the jewel market along the Merchant's Ward.
You guys wanted to sell some jewels, right? I think.
Yeah. All right. Take a look around for. I guess we want to get them appraised, right? And sold.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, if you want to.
I mean, any of you spellcaster types other than me have a need for them?
Nope.
Not now. I don't think so.
I don't know the word for it. Someone who inspects jewels.
Yeah, you see one store that's got a placard on it that's got a, your typical brilliant cut diamond image. Your best guess is that this is a guy or a girl who knows something about gems. Do you walk
Walk
in?
in and say hi.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as you walk in, you walk in through the first door, and then you stop at the second door because the second door doesn't open. And you see through the little window pane, it's a very small window pane, that there appears to be a small dwarf inside, peering over some things with a loop on his eye.
Gently knock on the door.
He looks up and he nods, and you see a gigantic hand come over the bubble of glass and a huge eye. And it blinks, it looks at you, blinks again, and then you hear the sound of multiple locks unlocking. Click, click, snap, click.
My man.
Bing! And the door pulls wide open. And as you look inside, you see a beautiful display case full of various gems. Even at this distance of 5-10 feet, you can see that they sparkle in the afternoon sunlight. And they are obviously very, very nice quality, at least to the untrained eye they are. You also notice that aside from the dwarf, the hand that opened the door is connected to a massive, huge, green-looking creature, bipedal, and has a long nose and loads of warts on its face, and a very large mouth with sharp teeth.
Hey.
Hello.
Excuse me.
He sniffs each of you as you stand there in the doorway. I smell magic. And the dwarf looks up and says, "Are any of you spellcasters?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much all of us wave, except Cracker.
Not me.
No funny business. We've got wards and guards up. You try anything, and the whole place will go up. Take you along with it. Right.
Cross.
Well, come on in then.
Cross
One
my
at a
heart and
time.
hope to die.
Leave your weapon.
Do I even have a weapon?
Well, I got a couple things. I could wait
Yeah.
outside though. I don't need to be in here.
Does my helm
Yeah.
count as a weapon?
Your helm does not count as a weapon, but for everybody who's carrying daggers, bolts,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cracker's going to take like
This would
3
take
minutes
too
just
long.
yeah, she's going to be like, the hidden dagger here, like the throwing knives in the back pocket, the hammer, the hidden sword, the hammer that's stuck in her hair, It's just like one
You
of
know
those
me too
joke
well.
moments. Yeah, the crossbow hidden under one armpit, or concealed carry crossbow. So,
Yeah, I'll be outside.
Dagger, quarterstaff, hand crossbow.
yeah. Are you looking to buy or sell? We've got the finest collection of gems in all of Port Nyanzaru.
Well, we're looking to perhaps expand that collection of yours.
What?
Sell. We're here to sell.
Oh, right. Okay, you should have just said so. Let's see what you got. And he pulls out a large piece of dark blue velvet, and he places it out in front of you. And he taps a small wand that he had hidden behind one of the cabinets, and it starts to glow bright light. And he holds it out above the velvet. Drop your gems on the velvet, and we'll have a look-see.
I don't know who's carrying the bag. with it in it, but
It was
take out
honey.
only one of the sapphires to start.
I'm gonna also put my pearl down.
Oh.
I know how much it's worth, but I don't think Dalin does.
Ooh. This is a fine pearl.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you get this then?
That's private.
Private, eh?
Mm-hmm.
These wouldn't happen to be blood gems, would they?
What's a blood gem?
Gems and jewels gained through the killing of others or the illicit use of slavery?
Oh, no. No, it's not.
No. Well, that's all right. Doesn't really matter either way. Just curious. Yes. Now, what did we say the pearl was worth?
49 gold.
Yeah. Ah. What would you like for it?
50 gold.
That's a funny number. How'd you come up with that?
I don't know.
Stony, did you hear that? She just knew right off the bat that she wanted 50 gold.
100 then.
And Stony just looks at all of you. No, I can see you have a good sense of humor, but I'm very busy.
How about the sapphire?
Yeah. Now, I think I remember what I said for the sapphire, but just remind me if we're on the same page.
I don't
Did I
you
tell you the
didn't?
amount for this?
No, you said 2 good quality sapphires.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, he'll ask you what you want for the sapphire.
I defer to Satina.
Oh. 25 gold pieces?
Have you got anything else?
Did you put both of them down or just one?
Just one.
Oh, okay. Did you want to put both of them down?
I want to see what he says first for the price of this
Oh,
one.
okay.
We might. Depends how much these ones will go for.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you 50 for the lot.
50.
Surely these were worth more than that. I mean, look how they shine.
Indeed. I mean, don't need no magic to see that these are clearly of the utmost quality.
Mm-hmm.
Been holding on to them for quite a while looking for the right buyer. But, I mean, if you really don't think they're worth that much, then I suppose we can take our business elsewhere.
And he looks at Satina and says, "You know, that's a mighty fine beard you've got there, Miss."
Fizzle. Miss Fizzle.
Oh, that's an unusual name for a dwarf. I've never heard of a clan fizzle.
Yeah. See, there's a funny story with this. I am rather new to my dwarfhood.
Oh,
But
oh, you're a
nothing
trans
weird.
dwarf, are you?
Oh, you're funny. Sort of. I was reborn as a dwarf.
Oh, one of those religious nut jobs.
Not so much. Religion isn't really my thing. More of I died and then was what was I? I wasn't reanimated. What is the term? Resurrected?
Reincarnated?
Yeah.
Reincarnated? Was it reincarnate?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is your story.
I was trying to remember the word. I'm so bad at words. And I was reincarnated as a dwarf, which is very strange for me. I was originally a gnome. So this much hair, and I'm big now. It's very strange. I'm very new to this. But do you think it's a nice beard? I rather like it.
May I? And he reaches out a hand, but he doesn't touch you unless you say yes.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
And he feels it. Oh, this is very soft. Yes. You could keep out a lot of mind dust with this.
Definitely.
Bet it catches all kinds of things when you're having stew, huh?
It makes for a good midnight snack.
Oh, yes. Beard snacks are the best. You know, I know a place where we could go and have a couple of dwarven ales and perhaps talk a little bit about your budding dwarfhood.
As much as that seems like a kind offer, I am in fact married.
Oh, the best always are. Funny, you didn't have a braid.
Do I have to braid it?
Well, I mean, a lot of people
Again,
aren't doing
I'm new
it
to all
these
this
days.
dwarfhood.
Well, it's kind of a thing. It depends a little bit where you're from, I suppose.
So the dwarves of Silvery Moon, would they braid it in a certain way?
But the dwarves of Silvery Moon. I've never heard of dwarves of Silver. Are you sure you're not an elf?
I am not an elf. No.
I mean, Gauntlgrim is near Silvery Moon, but that's very different. That's Brunor Battlehammer's place.
So you're saying there are no dwarves in Silvery Moon?
Well, I'm sure
I
the
came
odd
across a
dwarf.
couple in my studies.
Well, there might be a few, but it's not like there's a whole pack of them running around, is there?
Oh, that's fair.
Ha 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 ha. And he laughs with you. I'll tell you what. You let me have a little bit of your beard as a keepsake. It's hard to find good dwarven company here. I'm sure you understand. Lots of dinosaurs and undead and humans. And I'll cut you a deal on these gems here.
That seems fair. Do you want a piece of the hair or from a piece of the beard?
Oh, a beard, of course. I mean, it's if you don't think it's too weird.
Just a little bit, though. I don't want it to seem, off.
Oh, no, not at all. I'll just trim a little from each side to make it even. How's that?
Oh, that's perfect. Although I left my dagger with your friend, so...
Oh, no worries. I can do it. And
Okay.
he reaches down from behind the counter, rummages around in what sounds to be a box of some sort, and he comes back with a very fine set of shears along with a very, very fine set of pincers. May I?
Sure.
And he gestures for you to lean in.
I do, in fact, lean in.
And as you lean in, he very, very delicately takes just a handful of strands from your beard on either side, and he clips about a 3-inch length from either side. And then he takes them, and with his really thick fingers, surprisingly deft, he weaves them into a small braid. And he says, very nice. Thank you. I'm going to talk to my friend and maybe make this a locket. It'll be something to keep me warm at night. Not that we need to keep warm at night in this unbearable heat, but there you go.
Yeah, it's quite warm here.
It is.
So about these gems.
Yes, of course. Well, I can give you 75 gold for them.
Does that seem fair, you guys? 75 for 2 gems?
Yeah.
Well, for one
pearl.
just to be clear, it's the 1 pearl, 1 emerald, right?
Sapphire.
Sapphire, rather.
Yeah. Okay, I think we have ourselves a deal.
Alrighty. And before you can even see, his hand has already swept the 2 gems off the velvet into a small pouch. And he reaches down behind the table and he pulls out a pouch and starts counting out 75 gold pieces. Now, do you want it all in gold, or do you want some silver or coppers and platinum and so on and so forth?
Just gold?
All right. Clink, 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 clink. And he very quickly has 7 piles of 10 gold coins, and then he counts out another 5. There you are, 75 gold coins. Finest mint from Port Nyanzaru. I just got these from the mint last month. Barely used.
Should I
Wait.
put them in the party notes, or do you want to take some Dallin since you put in your own pearl?
No, it's okay. I have enough gold.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll put 75 in the party notes.
You know that if you pick up any treasure, you're supposed to report to the naming list. And they'll tax you, and they will find out if you lie. Just telling you, because you wouldn't want the fellow dwarf to get in trouble.
Your mic's all weird again.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's take a little break. I'm going to reset all of my audio equipment and see if that helps anything.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Ow.
Yes, so you have 75 gold from the sale of a pearl and a sapphire, and you have given over a small locket of dwarven lady beard hair.
Yeah, and I feel a little gross, but it's fine. It got us a deal.
Come on, it's like, you get pulled over by a cop and you show a little cleavage to try to avoid a ticket.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing.
I've done it.
But you had to get out of your car?
No, actually, the view is better when they can look down into the car.
So, are we going to the Grand Souk now, or?
So before you leave, the dwarf will say, sorry, I've got to do the voice again. Oh, by the way, are you a gambling dwarf?
Why do you ask?
Oh, well, there's a dinosaur race. I don't know if you know. It's happening tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
If you are interested in watching, I've got a nice seat in front of the store. It's actually upstairs. You can see them rushing by. I like to place a little wager just to make it exciting. I have it on good authority that this new up-and-comer halfling fella from outside the wall, he's got a pretty good chance, I think. I mean, it's not good odds. They seem to think he's not going to make it, but the payout's pretty good, and there's a decent possibility that if he makes it, he's going to actually pay out some good money.
Do you have a name for this halfling fellow? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I think he opened up some sort of a shoe store. His name's, what is it? Nick? No. Dent? And he strokes his beard. Break? Bang? Oh, something like that.
And you said he's got a good chance of winning?
Well, I mean, the bookies are giving him 50-1 odds, so no. But the payout's pretty good. You know,
I heard there was another up and coming team.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Do tell.
they're called Mad Skills.
Mad Skills.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
We've heard pretty good things about them, so I mean, if you're a gambling man, then I think you might want to gamble on them.
Sounds like a ridiculous name, frankly.
I mean, maybe. Or maybe they just had trouble with the administrator. But that's not really the point here.
That's very specific.
It could happen to anyone, really. So, I mean, is it that specific?
Yeah, it really,
alright.
it really is. Well, anyway, what are the odds of winning?
Very good.
Really? So the payout
Yeah.
must be pretty low then.
Possibly.
Possibly, yeah.
I'd be interested to see who would win between them and our halfling fella.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the one who's really supposed to win is Big Honker. That's big T-Rex. He's almost a bit too big to be in the race, although technically he's still a juvenile, I think. And he's being ridden by Tariq Afa, son of one of the merchant princes. So, he's all about the hairdo.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Mad skills, you say?
Mad skills.
Yeah.
What kind of dinosaur is it?
I don't think they've been very open about that yet. They want to
I
keep
don't
it a
think so.
surprise.
And he looks from each of you, and he settles on Dallin. No comment from the druid.
Crickets.
What's Dallin doing?
I'm just
Admiring
standing.
some jewels?
Yeah. See if I can see any magical stuff.
Well, it's mostly jewels, so yeah, it's possible. You want to roll Arcana?
I need to spend some money soon. Let's see. Arcana. Ooh, 18.
Good rolls.
Yeah. I'm lucky.
Yeah. Let's see how it goes during the race itself.
Yeah.
Let's hope they stay high.
Yeah.
Nat one.
Yeah.
No.
Your dinosaur dies.
Mm-hmm.
You
Oh.
notice that behind him is a very well protected case. It's a metal case, but it's got what appears to be a very, very thick, either pane of glass or possibly crystal, allowing for viewing. And inside it there is I guess you're not really an expert on gems, are you?
No.
It's a very large oval-shaped gem. It's got many facets to it, and it's kind of light purple, iridescent. It looks a little bit like it's got a sort of pearl-like sheen to it. So it's not just a gem like refracting light, but it actually looks like it almost looks a bit like your pearl that you had it over, except it's a different color, and it's got a lot of iridescence in it, not just one sort of general color. But the interesting thing about it is it seems to be floating in the case. It doesn't seem to be sitting.
Excuse me. What is that gem over there? And I just point at it.
Oh, well, and he sort of stands a little bit straighter. He tucks his thumbs under his armpits. Looks obviously a bit proud of it. That's an ion stone. I managed to pry that out of the hands of a hag that I was able to successfully finish off back when I was younger and an adventurer.
Okay. What does it do?
Oh, it protects me. I don't normally wear it except for special occasions.
Would you be interested in selling it, perhaps?
No, I couldn't possibly sell it. It's far too valuable. These kinds of things never trade.
How much?
Besides, I don't think you'd have enough money for it, to be honest with you.
How much?
No, I don't think so. I couldn't possibly part with it.
Why not?
Well, I mean, it's very, very valuable. Besides, it's something that I earned when I was actually out as a younger dwarf. I barely had any whiskers on my chin. Oh, I couldn't possibly.
Okay, your loss.
Oh, I don't think so. But you've got a lot of chutzpah, I'll give you that. You could almost be a dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
Except for that ridiculously naked face of yours. Ugh. And then he turns back to Satina and smiles benevolently.
She's gonna smile back and then look to everybody else and be like, is our business done here? Are we good?
Yes. Well, thank you very much for your time, good sir.
Yes, thank you.
Not at all. So it's a rain check on the racing date, is it?
Yes, it is.
Well, you know, the good thing about Port Nyanzaru is it rains almost every day, so maybe I'll see you tomorrow.
We shall see.
All right, then. Take care.
Farewell.
Grab our weapons
Yeah.
on the way out.
Yeah.
Grab your weapons on the way out. Stony is like just handing them back out again, just like looking at
Does
you
he
like.
give them to the right people?
No, he just like gives like all the small weapons to the biggest one of you, which I guess in this case is probably Dallin, and the 10-foot pole. He basically gives everything to Dallin.
Oh, thank you. And I just try and distribute the right.
And as you're like being overloaded with all this stuff, he has one last dagger, and he just sort of like he like points at your mouth.
I'm just gonna open my mouth and bite it.
And he shoves the scabbard in sideways into your mouth,
Thank
and he
you.
gives you a thumbs up.
I try to give myself thumbs up and drop everything on the floor.
Oh, what are you doing? You're making a mess.
Sorry.
Oh, Stony, help him out, would ya? Stony just kind of shrugs and says,
Poor Stony.
Yeah. He's doing his best.
And as he pushes you all outside, and then he uses one gigantic sized 24-foot to sweep all the stuff that fell on the ground out the main door. He then closes it, and you hear the sounds of 15 locks locking behind it. Click, click, click.
We're never coming back here, are we? I say to Stina.
Please no.
Are you sure you don't want to take him up on that rain check? No?
Nope. I don't think my husband would like that.
Well, maybe I'm gonna send you in to flirt with him and try to get him to sell the stone, just to find out
Oh,
how
yeah.
much it's.
Just pimp out your party members. Awesome.
Yeah.
Take one for the team.
I definitely could have, but we should have sold it while we were in there.
Well, I didn't think about it when I was in there. I really want that stone.
Well, I mean, he is could be distracted during the race, but will also be distracted during the race.
Yeah, and it
so
said that the place was warded, and I don't.
yeah, so if you can figure out a way to non-magically take it and get through all of those locks,
And his friend Stony.
and his
Yeah.
friend Stony, or we can come back as the victors and be like, "Yo,
Yeah.
we just won.
Mhm.
Can we get that?"
Yeah. Just have to win first.
Yeah, nope, no biggie. How? We'll be fine.
That's not a given.
Have we
As
figured
you
out
are-
what dinosaur we're gonna be yet?
Have you
Well,
decided?
I've been reading about it a little bit, and I can't turn into the fastest because they're too high of. They're too difficult to turn into.
Okay.
So, but I can summon one or conjure one, an Allosaurus, for example. But that lasts for an hour, and I need to concentrate on it all the time. But it will do my bidding. It will.
It's not a bad
Are-
runner-up, though.
Yeah.
So,
And
we can.
is there only one rider permitted? Because if you can stay on and focus while one of us rides it and deals with everything else.
Yeah, I can ride it and focus on it, but if I get attacked or take any damage or anything, then I might lose concentration and also the dinosaur.
That would not be good.
No,
So we don't want to risk you getting hurt then.
we
How
could
can we do that?
we could also buy a dinosaur, and I can talk to it, and I can also talk to the other dinosaurs, try and get them to let us win. Let's
Oh, that's
persuade them
interesting.
to let us win.
promise them some liver chips.
Yeah.
While you guys are strategizing your combination grand larceny and or illegal race fixing in the middle of the street.
No, we're not talking
people
about
are
it.
passing-
Very lightly.
People are passing by and looking at you, and there's a couple of guys in these bits of armor with the flaming fist on their chest, like stopping and just sort of standing there listening to you.
So, all jokes really, we're gonna play a straight race. I mean,
Yeah.
We're
I
not-
mean,
We
that's what
couldn't-
we'd say if we were lowlifes, but
yeah, but
Yeah.
we're not low lives, obviously.
where's the fun in
I mean,
that?
Yeah, we can just win off of straight skills. We don't need to hatch a plan.
Please hatch a plan. I would love for you to hatch a plan. I'm
Well, we
telling
were.
you. Go ahead.
We need to go
I've tried
somewhere private.
I've tried to prepare, but I just can't do. I can't do everything, but I've tried to prepare for all kinds of shenanigans. So, as you are standing there, though, in this sort of semi-conference, a young T-Rex with these incredible racing stripes, feathers attached to his the shoulders on his small forelegs, and a very wildly decked out rider with a dark-skinned human riding on top comes sort of lumbering through your area. And the rider on top shouts down, "Get out of the way, you plebs!"
Hmm.
Are you Tariq?
Rude.
Are you shouting that out to him?
Yeah.
And he
That's not to
yanks,
speak down to your competition.
he yanks on the bit, and the T-Rex sort of, even though it's going at normal speed, it kind of pulls up really sharply, such that the hind legs actually kind of do this little stop in the hard scrabble. And he looks down and goes, "Yeah, that's right. I'm Tariq Alpha, and I'm gonna win tomorrow's race. You want an autograph, sweetie?"
Nah, we're your newest competitors.
"What? Nah.
Okay. Whatever makes
I
you
know
sleep
all of
better at
the
night.
people who are racing tomorrow. I don't recognize you at all."
And I guess you don't know everyone.
"That's not possible. Who are you
Whatever.
racing?"
It's a secret.
Mad skills.
"Mad Skills?
Mm-hmm.
Never
Mhm.
heard of it. What kind
Well,
of
we're very
dino are
new.
you riding?"
Surprise.
Yeah.
Because we
"Well,
got
it can't
mad
be a
skills.
surprise if you're racing. You've got to present at least 45 minutes before the race in front of the judges."
Yeah, it's a surprise.
That's when you'll find out.
Exactly.
Just like
Good thing it's
everyone
not
else.
45.
Huh. Yeah. Do you know the rules of the race?
Of course. It is.
Yes, of
Yep.
course.
Yeah, right. Well, here's the first rule. And he leans down about as close as he can possibly get, which is not very close considering the T-Rex, even though it's a juvenile, is still quite tall. And he points a finger at all of you individually and says, "The first and only rule is stay out of my way, because I'm going to win. And if you know what's good for you, you'll let me win. Otherwise, well, let's just say my mom's got some clout in this city. You wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of that."
Okay. Will
yeah.
do.
Yeah. Got it, bud.
Why are you laughing?
Nothing.
Because it's a beautiful day.
Mhm.
This is a lot of fun.
Pleasure to meet you, Tariq. We'll have fun
Yeah.
racing tomorrow.
Yeah. See you in the winner's circle. Not. And then he starts to trundle off.
What a
Who is
brat.
this kid?
Oh, my mommy's gonna tell me.
Oh my gosh. Do you think that's how he wins all of his races? Is getting his moms to pull?
I mean,
Probably.
big honker over there does look pretty impressive, but uh,
Sorry, did he say who his mom was?
It's Jessamine.
Mm-mm.
It's probably
Yeah,
Jessamine.
it's Jessamine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
His mother is Ikeni Afa.
Okay.
Ikeni. All right, hold on. Gotta get my pen. Ikeni.
Merchant Prince number 3.
And
Can you spell Ikeni for me?
Ekene, and then Afa is Afa.
Oh, I spelled it with 2. Ikeni.
And a passerby who happened to notice the exchange stops and sort of leans in and says, "You know what they say about guys who ride really big dinosaurs."
Oh, that's great. And I slapped this person on the back and I said, "That's a great one. Good one."
And he sort of like puts his thumb and his forefinger together and he narrows it.
You think it gets shorter over time as big honker grows?
Well, you can't ride something that big and take that much damage without having something go wrong, right? I mean, that's a lot of bruising every week.
I like you, Bob. You're funny.
How'd you know my name was Bob? Are you a psychic?
Maybe.
Can you read my palm? And he sticks out a hand.
Good lifeline. You have a good lifeline.
Yes, certainly not compensating. I see.
Oh, yeah,
Good
you think so?
genetics.
Well, I'm definitely alive. You must be really good. And she says, thanks. He bows and then he starts to walk off and he seems to be strolling and whistling very happily. I'm alive.
Oh gosh. Wait, do you guys remember what the dwarf said? He said that the city is known to have undead. Have you guys noticed any undead? Am I
No.
just not perceptive at all?
I'm gonna look around for undead.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
I'm so good at these. 13.
Oh my God, they're everywhere. You don't see any undead here, but your party members will recall that there were quite a few undead on the island, and it may be the case that this is not it's not entirely isolated to just the island.
Colonies.
We should keep a lookout for that.
Well, maybe they just kind of float over on driftwood, like coconuts or something.
Oh yeah. Just drifting skeletons that are animated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sun-dried
or-
zombies.
Or maybe they're like flown over by sparrows, like a European or African swallow.
Think they're carrying coconuts?
Ooh.
Only the
Go for some
African
coconuts.
ones.
Exactly.
I think we should probably figure out this dinosaur situation.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to go buy a dinosaur?
I think that's where we're headed.
Yeah? Okay. Wait, are we allowed back in there? Because we did kind of piss that guy off.
I think we should wait till we get our gold, so we can actually
Ooh,
buy
yeah,
one.
that's
Oh
true.
yeah, of course. Yeah, good point.
About how long has it been since we left? Not very long, right?
Oh no, it's probably by the time you get back there, it's probably about an hour. I mean, it's a long walk,
Word.
and plus there's a lot of people. You guys stopped and you looked at the fountains, and you stopped and you had interactions with racers and dinosaurs and measurements of various appendages.
Cool. So we can go back to the guy.
Yeah. If you've ever, I'm sure you guys have all walked around big cities that you were unfamiliar with. And even if you have a street urchin with you, you can eat up an hour very quickly.
Nice.
So, yeah. So you walk back, you get back to the money lenders and the money exchangers. And he's true to his word. He has sitting on his desk, surrounded by 6 flaming fists, several large sacks of coins. And one of the Flaming Fist members steps up and says, "Are you the group that dropped off this large sum of money?"
Produce the receipt.
Mm-hmm. And he looks at it. "Where did you get all this gold?"
Upon our adventures, where else?
Mm-hmm.
We're new to the area of Chult.
We are.
Very far away. I mean, do I look like I come from an arid region?
And he looks at your draconic-looking visage, and he looks out the window at the various dinosaurs walking past, and he looks back at you and says, "To be honest, you look kind of like a local."
Yeah, well, I'm a lot colder.
So you didn't get it from anywhere near Chult.
Correct.
Roll deception.
Well, a lot of that gold was in the Temple of Lolth, so it's not near Schult. All
That's
the gold
true.
that I gave was from the Temple of Lolth.
Okay. So do you want to tell a different story? I had nothing
No.
to do with these people. I've never seen them in my life.
Nobody.
I'm gonna use my inspiration to roll with
Yeah.
advantage.
Absolutely. I mean, if you want to tell
Oh my
them-
god!
Oh!
Oh my god! Oh no! That was my
Somebody's got to
first
take
roll.
a picture of that and post it in the group chat.
Oh my god! I'm so sad. Oh no!
Wow, I feel bad because you used your inspiration as well.
I did.
Wowza.
That's terrible.
You were
It is
distracted.
terrible.
Well, I guess by the 6 flaming fist scars, I guess.
So he looks at you and he leans in really close.
She's gonna match his energy.
We have ways of making you talk.
I'm a
Until
free
you can-
talker.
Until you can prove that you didn't get this from Chult, we're going to hold on to half of this gold that is clearly not from some other location. And he pushes over several of the sacks, which represent the vast majority of the gold. This looks like it's from one of the interior nations. It's very old, but we can't say that this is from Chult specifically. So, according to our laws, the provenance is unclear, and we'll assume that it is actually from another source. But these coins here represent the exchange from the ones that you dropped off that look like they might be from this region. You can prove that you brought it with you from another area. We'll give you the other half. Until then, we're holding on to it.
How can we prove that?
Well, you're going to have to find a way if you want it.
So how much of the gold are they keeping?
Well, your 600, since it was from the Temple of Lolth, represents 522 gold,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So he already gave you 50. So they're going to give you 471.
I gave him 700.
Oh, 700, sorry. I thought 608. So they give you 559. And the other 130, all of that came from the island, right? The two of you.
Yeah.
Obviously, Emma's did, Meridian's did, but Satina's did as well, right?
It was either from the island or from Wolf's Temple, but I can't say for sure.
Yep.
Might have been a handful, but we can just chalk it up to say Choltz.
Okay. So that represents 113 gold. So they're going to keep half of that. So they'll give you 56 gold pieces. And they're holding on to 56.
Okay.
Of course, they don't know about your gem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And since you were nice to your dwarven gem merchant. He probably won't give you away.
Do you want
Only-
to take like 20 of this, Satina?
Sure, I can.
With the gifts back? Okay. I'll take the other 36.
Well, you gave you contributed how much did
100.
Meridian contribute? Okay, Meridian contributed 100. Okay, and
Yeah.
Satina contributed 30. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right. Now you do know the rules. If you go adventuring outside, you not only have to pay 50 gold pieces for the right to do so, and we'll issue you a license. Then, when you come back, you have to surrender half of any treasure you find.
I mean this in the best possible way, but we started adventuring from another place, so do we still have to pay you? That seems a little strange.
No, if you bring in wealth from another region, then of course that's yours. But we have the monopoly rights for all of Chult.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Makes total sense.
Would you like to purchase a license now?
Are we? I think we're good, right? We're good?
How
Yeah.
much is the license?
It's 50 gold pieces.
We're good. We're not gonna stay here long.
No.
Yeah.
We need to get.
We'll be
Not with
moving
these
on.
kind of taxes. Bad for, like, tourists, you know.
Yeah.
Chult isn't a place for tourists. Chult is a place for people looking to make a fortune. And there's a fortune to be made out there. But it takes a lot to support the infrastructure and the protection of the city that acts as a safe harbor for all the people coming in and out.
Mm-hmm.
You should. And yet there's thieves everywhere.
Oh, it's truly very sad.
Well, if you've got a problem with thieves bothering you, you could always hire some of the Flaming Fist mercenaries as your personal protection in the city.
We'll give that a thought.
You do that.
This was a good transaction. Are we good?
Yeah.
We figure out where the gold came from and then report back to you, receive our gold back, and move on from there?
You have to bring proof, but yes, you'll be fine if that's all right.
Okay. That seems easy enough.
Just watch yourself. We have eyes everywhere.
Of course.
We are the Flaming Fist! And they all shout
Woo!
in unison, Flaming Fist!
Big brother.
Big brother. Who's that?
Oh, sorry. It's a joke.
No. Yeah, we don't really have a lot of humor.
Oh yeah, no, I
Really?
gathered that. I'm sorry. That's my fault. It's from my home place.
Yeah. Well, maybe you guys have some money now. You might want to go take a bath.
Even
Thank-
bathing costs money?
Does it?
Well, you don't have to pay, but everybody donates.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean, even the poor donate. Your baths aren't free. I mean, somebody has to clean and maintain them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I understand.
It's a public service.
Right. It's a good service.
Yeah. Otherwise, this place would be rife with disease.
Well, we wouldn't want that.
No. Anyway, this was fun. Watch yourselves. And they all stomp off in unison. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the money exchanger looks at you all very nervously. So, not to intervene, but I've got to go soon. I've got dinner plans.
All just glaring at him.
And he kind of avoids your gaze. But at the same time, he starts to close some of the shutters around the office, blows out one of the lanterns, starts to flip over the sign that says open, closed, that hangs from the window. And he holds the door open for you all.
New victim for Clarissa.
Vicious.
Writing it down.
The nature-loving druid
Yeah.
setting the undead upon him.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's some undead in the city.
Yeah.
Mm. Yep.
So the sun is starting to set. It's not dark yet, but you can no longer see the actual sun itself. You're only just sort of streets are lit as a result of the afterglow, and it's the sun is behind the hills, as it were.
So dinos or Gransuk?
I think we're running out of time. I think we need to do the dino first so she's got time. Dallin's got time to
Speak
see
with
if she can communicate well with it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but we have all day tomorrow as well.
So there's actually going to be 3 different dinosaur races during the day. In theory, you could enter into all 3 races, but if you end up in a situation where you've got a dinosaur that's injured or something, obviously you could heal it since you guys have healing. But it would seem very unusual, and they don't really like the idea of people interfering with the race. Now, there are lots of things people do that happen during the race, but there's a line somewhere between, obviously interfering with it and being caught and fixing the race versus, just the air quotes accidental damages that occur when a bunch of wild animals basically are in a chaotic situation.
Do we remember how much the Allosaurus was to buy? How much they cost?
I thought it was 500 gold,
Mhm.
and it was a Deinonychus.
Yeah.
I didn't I didn't ask him about the Allosaurus. He got kind of pissy with me after that.
The Deinonychus
They didn't have
was-
any T-Rexes for sale, I suppose.
No.
There was one, but it was small, wasn't it? Like really quite
Yeah.
small.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I think I pronounced it Deinonychus, but I think it might. I'm not sure if this is right, but if anybody else knows the answer, then please correct me. But I looked it up afterward, and I think it might be pronounced Deinonychus. So
that makes more sense.
if I led people down the wrong path, then forgive me.
It's a dino.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what dino you were talking about, so little
It's
velociraptor looking thing.
Yeah, it's kind of got like some feathers and things. It looks
Yeah.
a little bit like a pre-flight bird stroke mini T-Rex combined.
Like an Archaeopteryx and a Utah raptor had a baby.
Yeah, like an Allosaurus, like a drag queen Allosaurus, basically,
But smaller.
but very small. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things you can do is, if you wanted to look just as an indication, in the handout section, there is a folder now called Chult. Now, if you're buying one, they wouldn't necessarily all be available to buy. Some of them, such as Big Honker, are spoken for.
I like
But-
Nasty Boy.
But you can see Banana Candy is a Hadrosaurus. Big Honker is a T-Rex. Bone Cruncher is an Allosaurus. Again, the aggressive ones especially are juveniles, right? Brung Stomper is an Ankylosaurus. Jungle Princess is a Deinonychus. So you know what they look like. Mountain Thunder is a Dimetrodon. one
How
with the
do you
sails.
get a saddle on a dino?
This is a good question. How do you get a saddle?
Mm-hmm.
Oop Tao's favorite is a Triceratops, and Zongo is also a Triceratops.
So are we looking to both buy one and also have Dallin conjure? Or are we scrapping the conjure idea?
I don't know.
If there was a way that we could make sure that Dylan wouldn't be in any sort of danger while still being able to to do that.
You can post the spell in the chat, and we can take a look at it again, just so everybody can.
Let's see, conjure animals. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So I can summon 1 Allosaurus. 2, then yeah, the other ones. I can't summon a Triceratops because they are too high of a CR. But I know that the Allosaurus is kind of fast in speed.
Yeah.
And I also
Yep.
have a plan to make it a little bit faster.
Very nice. Well, do you have to have visual on it at all time, or can you summon it and then just stay in the crowds and?
I need to control it to tell it where to go. And I don't
got you.
think I can tell it or get it to learn the race path before. They're not very smart.
I got you.
So just to be
But
clear,
you have to be smaller, right? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, just to be clear. So this spell does not specify that you choose the beast form. It says it takes the form of beasts. You choose one of the following options for what appears.
Okay. Yeah.
How many and what CR. And I know it's always a little bit unclear with these things. In order to really understand the wording of this, you have to compare it to something like Find Familiar, which if you, Maddie, do you have Find Familiar?
I do. Do you want me to post it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And this is just a good sort of learning experience for everybody. That needs a little bit of editing. So, for example, in the opening sort of sentences, you gain the service of a familiar spirit that takes an animal form you choose. Right? So it says you choose, and it gives you the options from which to choose. Whereas the previous spell, Conjure Animals, simply says choose one of the following options for what appears, number of beasts, and CR. So you would be casting the spell. The DM essentially would make the decision what appears. You might get lucky, and it might be a dinosaur, right? Certainly if you choose a CR2 beast, the way most DMs would do this, and certainly I would do this, it would make sense, right? But it's a conjure animals. It's not summon, so it's a little bit different. So there are some summon type spells as well. Summon spells really will be sort of based on what is locally available. If you're conjuring, it could be anything. I mean, there aren't that many CR2 animals, so probably it would be something like a dinosaur, but it might not be a dinosaur that you could, or it might not be an animal that you could automatically enter into the race, and you certainly wouldn't be able to choose specifically. In order to be fair, I'd probably just make it up to any CR2. I don't even know what the CR2 list is, but if it's more than one option, I probably would just have you roll randomly on it.
Or we can wait for a dinosaur race when I'm level 6. Turn myself into an Allosaurus.
What's a level?
Levels? You're gonna.
We can farm XP until I'm level 6. And then
just
we can
keep killing orphans.
Yeah.
Let's go rat hunting.
It's gonna. Oh my god! It'll take you forever. You don't get XP for killing things that are really easy to kill. I do believe in that. There are some rules on XP farming in older editions that make a lot of sense. If you're so powerful that like one of you guys killing a rat isn't going to teach you anything. Like XP is like you learn something, right? Like
I can learn all the ways to desecrate a rat.
Mm-hmm.
If you're really creative and you want to put that much effort into it, I'll let you get the 5 XP. All right, it'll take you about 15,000 years to get up a level, but if that's what you want to do. Okay, so you've got so you do have the ability to conjure an animal. I mean, I can take a quick look and see what's on there.
Yeah, but it's still risky because I need to hold concentration. We could buy a dinosaur and I can talk to it, and I can make it my friend for a day, so it will probably listen to me more.
We do after this with the dinosaur.
We can bring in a lot. Beast the burden. You can carry
Yeah,
on.
you're certainly allowed to buy a dinosaur, and I mean, you've already got Cud and a freaking nightmare that presumably is still over by Cessna's.
Yeah.
Grimfaxi might get jealous.
Mhm.
Sorry, what?
I was gonna say, her nightmare might get jealous.
Yeah. So Cave Bear is a CR2 creature, beast. An Aurochs is a CR2 beast. Giant boar, giant snake, giant crayfish, which I guarantee you is not going to run very quickly.
How long was the
At least
race?
not.
Did you say 40 minutes?
I mean, if you look around this thing, these things presumably they're going to run at maximum speed. It's pretty far, but they clear the streets, so you'll move through the streets a lot faster than you guys did on foot. So it'll probably take you somewhere between 5 to 15 minutes, depending on how things go.
Okay.
Giant elk,
Yeah,
a shark.
because if you buy an Allosaurus, I can use this one to telepathically talk to it when we race. So I can tell it exactly what to do.
All right, then why don't we go check out the dinos again?
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, yeah, that's a great idea. I'll have to stand outside because I'm just going to tick them off.
And how cool wouldn't it be to have an Allosaurus with us at all times?
It
Yeah.
would be really cool.
Yeah, but if it
Just
wins,
don't bring it to GS.
Yeah, but if it wins, we can sell it for a higher price because it's a winner, and it beats
Ah,
Big Honker, so it's more
Oh,
valuable.
it'll be so nice to beat him.
Bigger honker.
Yeah.
Somebody's definitely going to be crying to mommy.
Good.
So it's probably best to buy one.
Yeah.
I think a lot more can go wrong if I try to conjure an animal.
Well, the wild shape would definitely work as long as you don't run out of time and and you don't take so much damage that you actually revert back to.
Yeah, but I can only turn into the small ones. So
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of my level.
Saber-toothed tiger, rhinoceros.
Oh, I want
Okay.
saber-toothed tiger.
All righty. So you're going to go back to the Dino Mart, as it were.
Yeah.
Hey, are you looking for? Oh, it's you guys again.
We are actually.
Are you really? You're not just
Yeah.
jerking my chain?
No, we went through an entire painstakingly long process to get the money for it.
Oh, well, how do you do? We just got a new shipment in.
Really?
oh,
Check them out.
Yeah. Do you know what you're looking for? We've got some
Something
nice
fast.
sturdy beasts. Oh, you want something fast, huh? Well, I mean, we do have a young T-Rex. He's still a little bit wild, but he's pretty fast.
How much?
That's going to be 1,000.
All right. What about an aloe?
Yeah, we still have one of those. Same one you saw last time.
And remind me of the price of that one.
500.
What did I say last time?
I think you might have said 600 or 700.
Feels like it would have been 750.
oh, I think it was lower than that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're telling us that it's worth more than the Deinonychus? Or the Deinonychus? Oh, I can't even say it right now. That
Deinonychus.
seems crazy. The
Deinonychus,
Deinonychus was 500.
she's got a point.
And they're even faster.
Oh, but the Deinonychus is small. The Allosaurus is big.
So it's less effective in a race.
I think you're confusing me here. No.
Well,
The Allosaurus is definitely faster than the Deinonychus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is actually. It's bigger and faster. It's just harder to handle, though.
well, can we go take a look at him again?
The fastest one is the T-Rex.
Is it?
Well, in theory, it is. If you so there's a way to increase the speed by whipping it. You know, like a jockey would maybe whips a horse.
Mm-hmm.
But you could lose control of the dinosaur. But the T-Rex, when it goes full bore, it would be the fastest. The Allosaurus would be the second fastest.
I'm not sure we can afford the T-Rex, though.
No. I really don't want to give the fist guys any more of my money.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the Allo.
I mean, you know, and he opens his vest pocket again, and he jingles it, and nothing. You don't hear any sounds, but a moth flies out. I do still have those student loans.
If we help you pay your student loans, what do we get?
Well, I mean, you know, I can't legally give you a tit for tat, but I can maybe give you a steer on which one's better.
Well, our price range would probably be capping out at the Allo right now.
Yeah, the Allo's pretty good. I mean, are you experienced riders?
No, but I have my way with animals.
She's
And he looks
quite
at
the
you.
natural.
He looks at you and goes, "Oh, you're one of those." Yeah, I could probably steer you to the Deinonychus, even though I'm doing it. I think it'll be easier for you. Now, you're going to want a good combination of sheer physical power and aggressiveness combined with speed and handling. You want it to be able to handle those turns. I mean, you know, sometimes when you're going over some of the trickier parts like the bridges, a big straight line runner isn't necessarily the best, right? Because you could just get knocked off a bridge. And sometimes if you get something that's a little bit too passive, I mean, you know, for example, if you get one of these ankylosauruses, they've got a lot of armor, but they're not exactly the best ones at, you know, fending off an attack from one of the other dinosaurs.
Are you willing to buy dinosaurs as well? When the race is over?
Yeah, but they'd be at a reduced price, depending on what condition they're in. You know the rule. As soon as you ride it off the lot, it loses 30%.
So the Allosaurus is 750? That's what you said?
I think he said
Yeah.
700. Nope, 7, definitely.
Well, he's saying 750 now.
Gaslighting him.
Yeah. All right.
Do you think
Yeah,
if we
he's-
charmed him, we'd be able to get him to lower the price?
He's listening to you while I'm standing right here, you know.
Sorry, that was my bad. Like with some cakes, you know?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's going to be a
goodness.
lot of cakes. You can't pay student loans with cakes. I've tried.
Oh.
So just to be clear, there hasn't been any problem with this headset, right?
No.
Okay, so maybe it was the headset then. Okay. Yeah. So it's, you know, sun setting, it's getting late, and Oh, it's been a long day. He just does this ridiculously overdramatic yawn. Plus, I've
Sweet.
got to work my second job to pay the student loan. And he jingles his empty vest pouch again.
So yeah, I just want to check to see how much do we have total. We have 56 plus 75, and then Dallin, how much did you have in the?
I got 559.
Okay, we have 690.
But I can
the-
exchange more if you have to.
Right.
Yeah.
We
But-
use the amount that's in the journal
Yeah.
because there's 130 in there.
130.
133
Only
gold pieces.
75.
Well, I think we had some in there already. I don't know. I'm looking right in the journal.
75 gold pieces.
Oh, and did you put it in the?
Yeah, Angry Birds journal.
If you make a change to the journal, could everybody just put in the date, the actual real world date, so we know when a change was made?
I'll do that now.
Thanks. And
Today
also
the
just
22nd.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just so we can keep track, because there's some stuff in there that's like really, really old, and maybe that makes sense that you guys still have it, but it's also possible that somebody didn't keep track of something and something was taken out.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
So I
Wait.
sidle up to Dallin. I just have a quick question for Dallin.
Mhm.
Dallin, can you talk to any of these? Like, are any of them easier to talk to than the others?
Not today. I need to learn the spell for tomorrow. But
Okay.
yes, I can talk to them.
We do still have the, unless I'm misremembering and we didn't actually give it out, but we do still have the 340 gold pieces from. Do we? Or did we? No, we do.
No, we use that
from
to get to buy ownership in Cessna. Or
Okay. Right. I'll take that out then. Just to keep track.
Thanks very much, Emma.
So yeah, we have, between everything we exchanged today, we have 690
Are you including the 20 that?
that you had. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Just make sure. I know it doesn't put much of a dent.
but we haven't had a long rest yet, so we still have another day. Because
Yeah.
the race wasn't tomorrow, but the day after.
I
Right.
can give you a deal. Look, we're new to this city, and we want to be careful. We know about haggling, and there could be some funny business going on, especially with the reputation of some of the bigger riders. How about this? We give you half down payment now. If the race goes well, whether or not the dino gets injured, we'll give you the other half, given it's not going to fall dead or something after the race.
Oh, I'd love to help you, but I just sell them. I don't have that kind of authority. You'd have to actually. I mean, it's the owner really is the guy who can do those kinds of special deals. Generally, Ethan Talroa, and he leans in. He's a little bit tight, so I don't think that's going to work. And if you guys don't show up, I mean, you all look really, really nice and everything. But if you don't come back, I'm going to be in the executioner's pit. Do you know what I mean? And then my student loans will never get paid.
Well, we can come back tomorrow, and I can exchange some more money tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. I don't suppose you'll just take straight foreign coin and have it exchanged yourself.
Oh, again with this. Oh, fine. I'll do it.
Yeah?
25%.
20.
It's not me. I don't have a choice. Plus, I
mean,
actually have to go down there.
we got it for 15%, so.
Well, then you should go do that again.
So we're missing. Hold on, let me do some quick math. 750 minus 690 times 1.25. Okay, we need an extra. We need to give him 75 gold, and then we can get the aloe.
Fine.
Okay.
All right.
So if you're going to do that for sure, then we'll just basically skip through that bit and get it all done, so as not to waste a ton of time just walking back and forth.
Gonna edit.
We'll say that you guys can, if you do a really fast dash, some of you can run back. Plunk. And he'll let you get the rest of it at the same 15% since you just did that big transaction.
Oh, okay.
But next time it'll be 25% unless you do a similarly large transaction.
So instead, it's an additional 69. Nice.
We're not above a bit of toilet humor. Okay. So he counts all the coins out. Nothing for me? You cheap bastards.
Hey,
Here
we're poor
you go.
too.
And he hands you the reins of your new Allosaurus, who immediately starts to pull and push against you. Who's holding on to it?
Cracker.
I am. I'm hanging on to it.
Roll a strength athletics check.
Woo!
And,
Okay.
Henrietta, I think you should roll the opposing check.
I have a question while they do that. Do I still have the corpse of my pet mouse in my pocket?
Probably
Oh, boy.
do.
Okay, cool. Just curious.
You had a pet mouse? Oh yeah, right, from the thing.
I just assume he's dead by now.
Well, if he was a corpse already, then he certainly is. Oh, was it a living mouse at the time?
It was, because with the urchin, you have a pet mouse, and I'm assuming after all we've been through, he's probably dead.
Oh. No, I mean, mice are pretty resilient.
Oh, I was going to feed him to the Allosaurus, but...
I mean, you can if you want to. It wouldn't be the worst thing you've done.
Touché.
Okay, so you rolled a 17 without any help from anybody else, which you guys could have done.
Yeah. Not gonna help.
Just as a reminder. I mean, some of you have guidance. Some of you could have given inspiration. Some of you could have said, I'm gonna help. Well, just as a reminder, DM, just trying to help you out.
I'm gonna shout some encouraging words.
Anyway, you rolled a 17. The Allosaurus also rolls a 17, so you're going to match it. And I'm going to say that counts. So you managed to get it under control just barely. Crackers, bulging biceps, huge shoulders, and massive, thick thighs straining against this young Allosaurus. You can see the young sales guy is kind of standing there, very impressed, going, "Wow, you are thick, lady."
Thanks.
So what are you using it for? Can I ask?
What we're using the Allosaurus for?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, are you planning on eating it?
I'm gonna blink at him like he's an idiot.
We're gonna race this thing to success and win this race coming up, or one of the races coming up. We're gonna be amazing. Our names could be all over the place.
Really? And he looks back at you like you guys are the idiots. And how are you going to ride that thing without a saddle?
I'm gonna buy one tomorrow.
Well, we've got a special today.
Of course you do.
Huh.
Buy a dinosaur and get a complimentary saddle for half price.
What's the half price?
Well, it depends on what kind of saddle you want. You want a special racing saddle?
How much is it?
You're asking how much a saddle is?
Yeah, the racing saddle.
Oh, Okay. Yeah. So this kind of saddle will cost you 20 gold pieces in local currency.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
okay. And that's at half off, or
Is
is
that
it like 10 half off, or is it like 20 to half off?
No, 20 is the half off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not like a normal horse saddle, right? It's kind of a special.
Can we say that I exchanged some extra gold at 20 when I?
Oh, God's sake. And he runs back and he runs back again. He's all sweating. Jeez. Man, that guy's starting to hate me. And you couldn't even see your way to helping me out with my student loans. And he shakes his vest again.
I mean, you'd have to exchange the money again.
Got it. Cheap tightwads.
You know what? I throw him this is my last 5 gold. You take that and you put that towards your education.
Oh. Hey. Thanks, lady. Now you see, that's class. By the way, nice shovel.
Thanks. It's helpful.
You planning on doing any digging with that?
No, but I have a feeling I'm going to be using it with this Allosaurus.
Oh, that sounds dark. Speaking of dark, sun's setting. Time to close up shop. Thanks for coming by. Remember, tell all your friends about the Dino Mart.
Will do, Lone Man.
All right. Say, by the way, what's the name of your racing team, or what are you calling your dinosaur?
Mad Skills is the name of our team.
Mad Skills. I love that name. That's awesome. I used to be in a band called Mad Skills.
Maybe
Kind of
this can
music.
be Roadrunner.
Yeah.
Well, we, kind of did a fusion, hip hop, new age, techno, electronic beats, stroke, grunge, metal, garage, polka.
Tight.
Sounds exciting.
Very
It was-
interesting.
We were the hottest. We came in number 13 in the southeastern portion of Port Nyanzaru's ratings for 2 weeks in a row.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's impressive.
I mean, it didn't pay any bills, but we got a couple of free drinks.
Well, that's all it takes, right?
Yeah.
Every free
well,
meal you can get.
That's about as far as it went. Yeah. And now I'm doing this. My life sucks. Anyway, thanks for coming to the Dino Mart. And he throws up his arms, half in sort of waving goodbye and half in what appears to be sort of exasperation as he thinks about his life choices.
Like this kid.
And he starts pulling on a gigantic metal gate to close things off. And as he's doing it, you guys are kind of in the way, and he doesn't really slow down, and you can tell this thing's super heavy. He's like pushing really, really hard. He's almost like perpendicular to the ground. He's pushing so hard. He's got his head down. He can't even see you. And the gate's about to like start bumping into you guys.
Probably
Dramatic
step out of the
roll
way.
out of the way. Nope. Dramatic roll out of the way. I'm suing for
Fantastic.
emotional damages.
All right.
Fantastic.
So you guys are now the proud owner of a racing Allosaurus
That's
with
pretty cool.
complimentary racing saddle and bit and bridle. Plus, he even threw in a little whip.
Oh, that's nice of him. Doesn't complimentary mean free?
It does. That's the funny thing about it.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I knew my words.
How much of it was just him patting his own book? He's a sales guy, right?
Yeah.
You know how it is. You've all bought cars, I'm sure. Some of it they can keep.
I
Some
did.
of it, yes. Some of
I
it they
bought
can keep, and some of them they have to pay to the big boss man. It's just how
I
life
bought a
is.
car a couple weeks ago. I'm so happy.
Yeah, and he also hands you like a bill of sale, and he also hands you like a couple of pages that include a bunch of statistics on it, including the provenance, age, or estimated age. And at the top of it, it says Dino Facts, FAX.
That's really funny you started saying that because I just posted something like that in the general chat.
Yeah.
That was really good timing.
There you go. Great minds.
Think alike.
I didn't
Rules
realize
rarely
that-
differ.
Well,
I didn't realize, Henriette, that you put up a picture of Monica.
Yeah, that's what Jolene's hair look like.
Fantastic.
I think she's great. I love that show, Cougar Town. Alrighty. So I guess, as it turned out, through no deliberate choices of anybody's specifically, Joe's going to get to participate in the dinosaur race.
Yay!
Yay! Okay, so here's what we're going to do, just so you know. I'm going to make a couple of minor changes. I can do it on the fly, but it's better if I don't have to because there's going to be other things to take care of. So, assuming you don't change your mind, if you do change your mind, that's fine, but let me know in the chat before next week, as in over the weekend, if you, especially, Henrietta, if you want to change your strategy on how you're going to enter the dinosaur race, such as, wild shaping or something. If Henrietta, if Dallin is going to be racing the dinosaur because she can speak to it, that's fine. Somebody has to race it, so that's regardless, okay? The other 4 players, when Joe's back, will also be racing a dinosaur on behalf of one of the other teams.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And
That's
exciting.
exciting.
You guys, so this way everybody participates. And I will trust you guys to try to win it. So you'll try to do the best you can to win. There are some risky maneuvers you can take. If you succeed, they'll pay off and you'll move a lot faster than everybody else. If you fail, you can end up, either running very slow for the rest of the race or even being knocked out of the race. If you deliberately try to throw the race, in game, right? This is a serious thing, this race, right? A lot of people bet a lot of money. It's a big point of pride for the city. So how seriously these guys take it. If somebody's messing around with the race, given how strict the Flaming Fist are with all this other stuff, you can rest assured somebody's going to open an investigation. So you wouldn't want to, if you're going to try to win, if you've gone through all this trouble to try to race honestly within the realm, within the confines of the rules, if you do something really obvious as a player in a meta capacity, it'll probably open an investigation of fixing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No funny business.
No funny business.
No, you can definitely do funny business. Just don't meta lose. Try to win.
Definitely not. I'm too competitive for that.
Sounds to me like Mr. Treek was making some threats. I don't know about
He
you
was.
guys.
He was.
Yeah.
How do the other writers feel about Tariq?
Well, if you guys, you have another day. So if you guys do some more stuff, you have a few more. Sorry, I've actually gotten lost now. So the race is actually tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wasn't it the day after?
I think
We didn't have a long rest.
Right, but
Well-
After we signed.
it was supposed to be the day after, but we kind of accelerated one day at the beginning of today's session because I was assuming you guys were going to race soon.
Oh, okay.
So I gave you guys a full
I
day to
didn't
do
know
all
that.
this other stuff. Yeah, that's fine. It's not a problem.
Then I wouldn't have had the spells I had now. But that's okay.
That's okay. So tomorrow will be the race, which is to say next week. You do have time tonight. You still have tonight and tomorrow morning before the race. The race doesn't begin at like 9 a.m. because who's going to watch a race at 9 a.m? It'll probably start. The first race will be around noon. The second race will be something like 3 o'clock, and the last race will be around 6. There are some places there are plenty of places you haven't visited. Quite a few of them are prepared if you would like to do that. With respect to the race itself, the rules that have been handed out to you, right? you not only have to register your dinosaur 45 minutes before the race, you have to keep it there so that the judges can make sure there's no funny business and they know you're prepared. Failure to do so is a forfeiture. The dinosaurs do actually fight with each other a little bit. You can attack each other a little bit. You can't like start a full-on combat, but if you're passing by, you can have a nip. It's a bit like horses sometimes kicking each other or biting each other in a close race. You don't always see it on television, but if you're ever up at a race and you see it in person, you can see that there's a lot of that happening, especially the kicking. The riders themselves aren't really supposed to attack each other, but if you don't get caught, there are places that are dangerous because you are racing through the city. It's not unknown for a dinosaur to completely go off the rails. People will talk about this in the taverns, right? That time a couple of years ago when so-and-so completely lost control and it tore through the Grand Souk and, completely disrupted trade, killed 2 halflings and one gnome, it's that kind of thing, right? It's the excitement is partly related to the danger involved, not just for the racers, but also from the spectating crowd's perspective. And we're going to have a whole thing set up. So we're going to use this. It's not going to be these rules exactly, but it's going to be something similar. So we're going to start here on the board game, and we're basically going to move around. It's kind of like Life, if you've ever played the board game Life.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to love Life.
Me too.
Me
the
too.
game, I mean.
Well, hopefully you like Life as well, real life, because otherwise I'd be very worried for you. If anybody needs to talk, I'm here. We're not just playing games together. We're friends. So you'll travel through all of this, right? You can share a space if you get a certain role. If you land on the same space as somebody else, you can fight it out, and the loser has to move back one. You have to roll to control your dinosaur. If you fail, you don't move at all. You can also try to whip your dinosaur and move a little faster. If you fail, you can lose control of the dinosaur. You're out. If the rider gets taken out for some reason, and there will be opportunities to do that as well, the dinosaur doesn't complete. The race has to be completed with both the rider and the dinosaur. There was a case a few years ago where one of the dinosaurs bit one of the riders in half, and the dinosaur crossed the finish line with the bottom half of the rider, and there was a long multi-day debate as to whether or not that constituted a win, because technically the rider was attached, but he wasn't 100% attached, and
What was the verdict?
Well, they decided in the end that they couldn't, in all fairness, award the complete purse to that dinosaur, but in compensation for the loss of the rider, they gave that particular dinosaur's owner equivalent purse of 25% as opposed to the full win. The problem is that the actual winner was also the dinosaur that bit the rider in half. So that then caused them to sacrifice a large portion of the purse in penalties for the negligent death of one of the other riders. So it became, there's a whole case law around this now.
Nice.
Did Tariq ride in the last one?
If you ask around, you will find out that he has ridden in quite a few, and he has won quite a few, actually.
Yeah, but does he win fairly, or is he kind of...
Oh, well, we'll just have to find out. Somebody will just have to. Somebody will have to do some snooping around someplace where there are lots of gossips and lots of people talking, either in taverns or bathhouses or temples or the souk or
we'll
maybe
have to go to the bathhouse.
Yeah,
or prostitute
absolutely.
themselves out to another dwarven gem merchant. I mean,
yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Oh,
even just for coffee. Just go for coffee.
Speaking of prostituting themselves out, there are a couple of half-orc racing riders, so you could get the skinny from them.
All right.
The new the new thickness on the scene might be able to, parlay some of her green wiles.
We'll see.
Fantastic. I love this
yeah.
game.
Well, hopefully you like your DM. So we're going to be all set to go. Dallin, Henrietta, if you want to run out the Allosaurus, you're certainly welcome to. If you guys decide you'd like somebody else to do so, that's fine too. If you can justify how you would have an advantage to handle an animal, because I don't think any of you are actually proficient in animal handling, are you?
No,
No,
No.
not
I'm
really.
not.
Yeah.
Well, I have animal handling, but
Yeah,
Oh, you do?
I'm not.
Oh, you have
do.
animal handling as well. Okay. So it may make sense for Cracker to do it, but it's fine if Dallin wants to do it because she's a druid and she can speak to him. So I'll let either one of you guys definitely have, the equivalent of proficiency. Anybody else who wants to do it can certainly try, but you will have to be playing your character. Everybody else who's not running the Allosaurus will be running one of the actual riders, and I'll give you the basic stats on that.
I have a +4 to animal handling, so but we can.
Yeah, so you're supposed to be proficient, but
Yeah.
obviously you guys, I'm not going to limit it to just Cracker just because she has proficiency. If you would like to do it, since you're kind of doing the speak with animals thing, so that's perfectly fine. You guys can strategize however you want. Creativity is definitely going to be rewarded. It's like the game itself, right? You can bend the rules, just try not to get caught breaking them. All right?
Cool.
Okay.
It's going to be so fun.
Hopefully it'll be fun. Hopefully nobody dies, or at least nobody you care about. All right, folks. Thank you very much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next Friday.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was excellent.
Good
Very
game.
welcome. Okay.
Okay.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.